Welcome to Real Talk Live. I'm Ben Ferguson, and back by popular demand is Brianna Balsuto. So we had Brianna on the other day, and we had a really, really nice talk, and the half an hour just zipped right by. So we thought maybe we should have her back. And so thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And again, if anybody is watching live on YouTube out there and has any comments or questions, let us know. We'll do a live interaction with you. If you're watching on channel 17, obviously it's already been taped, but anyway, we'd love any kind of questions or comments. I wanted to bring a couple things up to you. We talked a little bit about I think I brought up Elton John our last show. So we were talking about the way people look at the gay. I don't know how to put this tastefully, but the gay world versus the way it was looked at when I was growing up versus now, and the things that have molded me and shaped me. So Elton John was my first concert. Was my very first. He was my first rock star that I just thought was the most amazing thing in the world. Anyway, fast forward, he somehow involved Lady Gaga in his. And in fact, he had a couple of kids with his husband, and she is the godmother of the two children. But that's my introduction to Lady Gaga. So when I saw Lady Gaga, I knew she was awesome right away because she was Elton John's, godmother to his children.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really pretty cool what they did. They got all the Elton John fans, hopefully, liking Lady Gaga. And I'm sure they got all of the younger Gaga fans. I mean, do you like Lady Gaga?
Yeah, I like her music.
Do you like Elton John? I mean, did you ever listen to Elton John because of those two being friends?
I forgot how I started listening to Elton John. I've only listened to like one or two songs, but
Well, he has songs that'll go on forever and ever and ever. You know, he has like Your Song, the song called Your Song, and Betty and the Jets, and he has so many songs that you hear that you probably don't even know it's him. But anyway, so I remember seeing that and thinking that the whole gay thing just didn't matter anymore. And then when I was in high school, I remember somebody was gay, and I thought how hard it would be to be gay. And it would be like if I was on a planet and girls like girls and guys like guys, and I'm on a planet and I like girls. I mean, I would feel like I was on the wrong planet, the way everybody treated the whole situation.
yeah.
And how, I was about to say how blankety blank that would be. And that's why it is so cool that it's not, I would say it's about 80% better. Still probably 20% about it being okay these days. I mean, it being comfortable and acceptable, and I think the older generation than myself, hopefully, I don't know, can't speak for them, but what do you think? Do you think these days it's open, it's fun? Is it totally open, or is it?
I feel like it's gotten a lot more acceptable.
It was almost a big thing to be gay, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and now it's like I feel like it's just becoming more normalized, which is a very good thing. And same thing with kind of like gender roles, and because people like put genders to things that shouldn't have a gender, like for example clothes.
Right.
Like there's a shirt for girls and the shirt for guys, but they look like the same shirt, like things like that. And people just kind of can dress and express themselves however they want, and it shouldn't really matter.
I think it's just evolution. When I was a kid, I remember girls always wanted to wear men's 501s, Levi's. But as history, evolves, women had their dresses and men had pants, and then all of a sudden everything kind of. But you're right, though. It should be if whatever you want as far as clothes, and I'm sure there's some brands out there that are like that, aren't there? They're just shirts and pants, and you can buy them or not.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? As far as me being in another world with what do you think? Do you think we have a lot more way to go? We have more acceptance? Do you think everything's cool?
I feel like it's interesting because I feel like some are more accepted than others. For example, like two men that are in love and two women that are in love. Like I feel like lesbians are sexualized for some reason, and that's kind of difficult for them to be themselves when there's two men that are like, let's say, going down the street holding hands, and two women going down the street holding hands. Like I feel like there's more judgment for the women, but that's like
this is a cool conversation you and I are having. I'm straight, and I can tell you I would think the opposite. I would
Really?
think, yeah. I think I think two women together. I don't know why, because I think women are so pretty. I can almost see why women would think each other's are so pretty. I can
Of
almost
course.
understand that. It's not that I try to understand or not understand, but I understand that more.
Mm-hmm.
Two guys. I mean, everything's cool. I'm fine with that. I'm wired differently, so I don't. I mean, I don't often think about that. But as far as two guys walking down the street holding hands, today I can honestly say I think it's pretty acceptable,
Mm-hmm.
which is so cool because it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And two women, yeah, I mean, it's almost, I think women's almost, it's kind of a thing, isn't it? I mean, to have even straight women, it used to be when I was growing up in college, they usually had an experiment and, went
Yeah.
off and got drunk and did something. But I think it's kind of a thing now.
That's true. That straight women are very comfortable with each other, but sometimes if you're like the only gay person there, it's very confusing. It's like, why are you like calling me your wife? Why are you like holding my hand? Why are you like,
You mean if a straight person does that to you?
yeah,
Well,
like
maybe they're not straight. Maybe they're
no, they're straight. There's
okay.
straight women that do that, and it's very weird. Only
So
because like
they're being playful.
they're being very because there's this thing about straight women that because I have a friend like I have friends that are straight and because I like I don't label myself. I've had girlfriends, boyfriends. I like what I like, but um I've had friends that are straight that call each other babe, like they call each other wifey, like they hold hands, like they're very very affectionate with each other, but they're
You
just
mean
friends.
two girlfriends?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, I don't know. So it's confusing. I see.
It's
If you're,
confusing.
yeah, okay. If you're looking through the window trying to figure it out,
Yeah.
who knows? I can't answer that. Well, that's cool though. If you have guys and girls, it just doesn't matter. It's whatever you're feeling inside
Yeah.
that attracts you. That's cool. Yeah, we were talking about you were talking about different telltale signs, and I mentioned that I knew somebody that had different colored fingernails, and you could pick that out in a room, very quickly. So it was the light colored orange and the light colored was it light blue or something like that. And you'd mentioned just a cuff of a pants meant something.
That was for bi people, bisexuals,
Bi is the
that they cuff their pants.
it used to be. I remember growing up, it was if somebody had a handkerchief in their back pocket.
Really?
Yeah, have you heard that?
No, that's
So
interesting.
in San Francisco, I went to school in Santa Rosa. We'd go up to San Francisco all the time, and if it meant different things, but I don't know what they meant. But if it was a red handkerchief in the back pocket, it meant something. It meant that they were approachable or something, like in the whole gay world. So what else do we got? We have cuffs. We have fingernails.
Yeah, for I just know for girls, the certain way that you do your nails could mean something as well. Like
Right.
if they have no nails, like very short nails,
Mhm.
usually they're lesbian. Or if they do like, cause some girls like longer nails, but if they don't do certain fingers, then that's another
Well, okay, what is that? That's what I want to know. It's like this one's blank and the rest of them are colored.
like these two or the top these two.
Okay. If
Or
these two are blank,
yeah,
all right, then that means something. That's cool. So that's a whole language.
yeah.
That's cool.
But now it's like it could be like, oh, maybe their nail just, I don't know.
Maybe these two worn off on the
Yeah.
straight girl, and she's just
Yeah, so you can never know.
yeah. So when people actually have those and have the cuffs, then you absolutely know. But you were saying sometime that maybe you are attracted to somebody and you are feeling it, but they don't have any of that.
Exactly. Like for femme lesbians, they are
What's a femme lesbian? Is that
femme lesbians are pretty much
a lady, so to
very
speak?
lady
High
like
heels, pretty, blah blah blah. Okay,
feminine.
feminine. Thank
So
you.
it's very hard for, because there are lesbians and feminine lesbians that like feminine lesbians. So it's very confusing because they look like straight girls. So you just have no idea until you ask, or if they like are very flirty.
So I got a strange question to ask, and just because you're here and I can ask because it's my show.
Hmm.
Anyway, so some women like femme women, and some women like women that look like guys.
Masculine.
Right. And so are those about? Is that about the two different
There's
situations?
femmes, masks, stems, which
And I
are
was about to ask why, but it's just personal preference.
yeah. Some people don't have a type. They're like, okay, like like
just
if
like the
we have a
person.
connection, you know. But
Right.
some people do, like they have their preference. So that's something. If um if so example, if I am in like the dating world for like looking for a girl to talk to, um one of the first questions is, oh, are you mask, are you femme, are you stem, like just to know what kind of your style is like.
Well, that's an easy enough question, I think, even if you're not sure if they're straight or not.
Mhm.
And they'll be polite and tell you, hey, no, I'm neither.
Mhm.
So, but then having to ask that and getting that response, you probably don't. Probably hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember one time, I was much prettier, a lot earlier. When I was in my early 20s, I remember a guy hit up on me one time, and I remember saying, I was stunned, and I just said, no, thank you. And I walked away, and I went, did I just thank him? And I was just so blown away. It just really, really blew me away because I had never, ever, ever experienced anything like that before.
Uh-huh.
But, but then, like I said, then you learn, and then you realize I try to put myself into situations that I'm trying to figure out with somebody else and what I would do or how I would think, and that's what I'd mentioned. If I was gay living in this world, and I would think that I was on the wrong planet, you know. So we mentioned that earlier, and it's nice that things are cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to get off on that, but those are my thoughts, and obviously I think everybody should be absolutely who they are, and it's so cool that they are, and it makes life more interesting. It makes it more happy because people are happier,
Yeah.
right? They're not as freaked out and concerned. So anyway, we talked about concerts a lot. I want to talk about Travis Scott. Now, the Travis Scott concert, I was talking to Nico, our director, earlier about this, and I don't know everything. I just know what I've seen, and I base everything off my experiences, my little computer, so my frog pond that I've grown up in. But I don't. Everybody's getting down on Travis Scott, and I don't necessarily think it was all his fault. Let me tell you real quick. When I was growing up, there was a concert. I think it was in Ohio where the Who played, and a concert goer got smashed. So at that moment, they quit all the standing at the front and they put in seating. Right, festival seating is what it used to be called, and then they did assigned seating, and nobody else died. So that's the problem, I think, is they didn't have that. You know, they just let everybody cram together. But the fact that he kept playing and everybody's getting down on him, I don't think it's Travis. I don't think it's Travis Scott's fault. But anyway, what are your thoughts?
Well, I've heard that people, it's not that they let that many people in, it's that they kind of just went in.
Rushed forward.
Yeah. And there was just so many people, like I forget how many people they said that there were, but it can't be like that only 8 people passed away. I feel like there was definitely more.
Do you?
Because there's just so many people, yeah. And
now, what kind of concert series was it? Was it a rap concert? Was it?
It was a rap concert. It's crazy because I've heard of like things kind of, because in metal concerts, like heavy metal, like they have their mosh pit that they like just go in and, you know, just move around, and people get punched in there, and like they sometimes they get hurt, but I've never really heard of people dying. I mean, that's just me. Maybe people did, but like that's in that environment, like a rap concert, like people dying out over that.
Well, we're thinking that must be because when I go to concerts, I always go to the front. That's my thing. I want to see my artist right up front. And I've never been. I went to Guns N' Roses a while back. Of course, these bands now, everybody's 40, 50, 60 years old. They're not going to be doing that. But I've never been smashed or anything like that. But maybe it's a new age. It's a new type of music that. Why are they rushing to begin with?
Well, I guess Travis Scott is very loved by Gen Z, or people are blaming Gen Z.
Are they trying to get closer to him? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Or show their appreciation by smashing up against her?
Yeah, but people are blaming Gen Z, saying that because of the way that we are as a generation, we just kind of do whatever we want. But
we don't have the coping of the communication skills. Remember we talked about that? It's Snapchat to hooking up, and there's no middle ground.
Yeah, or also they're blaming like the pandemic, saying that, oh, people weren't at concerts for so long, and now that you're at concerts, you don't know how to act. Like,
I'm with that, and you're so excited because concerts, like I said, my first concert was Elton John. When I saw that concert, I was in 7th grade, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do for life, because something just clicked in me, and concerts are my thing. I'm going, Saturday, I'm going to Vegas to see Sammy Hagar.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't stop going to them. They're my friends.
Yeah, they're great.
It's magic. Yeah, I love concerts. Well, it's too bad that what happened happened.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anybody's fault other than the situation happened, and we're going to try to put in things in place for the next concert for it not to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, when they had assigned seating, that took away any kind of people rushing, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than I'm a Travis, I'm not a Travis Scott fan. I don't know Travis Scott, but I know that I don't think he should take the blame for it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you go to City College.
Yeah, I do.
And you're taking Chinese studies.
Yeah, just Chinese, like Mandarin.
So Mandarin, I worked at a Chinese restaurant, and I wanted to ask a waitress out to dinner, and they taught me to say "Wo xiang cha hui sik fan," and that means "Would you like to have dinner?" And she said no. But anyway, that's as Chinese as I got, and that was Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about what got you into wanting to be Chinese and learn about Mandarin.
So I wanted to start learning because I had a dream in high school of that I was walking to school and I saw a Chinese boy. Well, a little Asian boy. He was around like 1 or 2, probably
How
around
old were
2.
you? High school, you said?
In high school, I was around 16, 17,
So
17.
this was after the imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then I was in my dream. I was like trying to help this kid, but he was like 2 years old. He didn't talk, and so then his mom comes up to me speaking Chinese. Well, I thought it was Chinese, like it was a language I didn't understand, and she was pretty much like, "Oh, you're stealing my kid! Like you're stealing my kid! What are you doing?" And I was like, "No, I'm trying to help. Like I'm trying to help him find you." But it was that language barrier, and then since then I was like, I need to learn Chinese, like just in case I come across like someone that I can possibly help, then I can communicate with them.
From a dream, I think all that's where we're all, our lives are predetermined, and if you're having dreams, you're given the answers to the future.
Yeah.
So, are you learning the language?
I'm trying.
Yeah, that's
It's
hard,
difficult.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? What I said, the "wo xiang cha hui sik fan"
Only fun. I think that's
food.
food.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think one of them work.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
So, all right. So is it just a language thing, or are you going to go to China and meet the people?
I'm hoping to go to China someday. I mean, I want to travel for sure, so I want to be able to learn most languages of the places I want to go to, just to make it a little easier and more comfortable for people that already live there to communicate.
You know, I was telling somebody I want to go to China. I've always wanted to go to China, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't go there. It's communist." And I'm like, "You can go anywhere you want." I live in the world where in Benville, right, population 1, you can go anywhere you want. And it's neat. You do too. Yeah, I don't think I went to New York for the first time a couple years ago, and everybody said, "Oh, be careful, be careful." And I remember going in the subway and asking all these people, hey, asking for directions, and everybody was so incredibly nice. Nobody was like you hear, wanting to take my money or fight me or anything. And I think it's the frequency that you give off to people, because if you're walking around, looking at people like that. And I wasn't. I was like, Ben, I'm like, cool. I'm like asking, and there were some thugs, man. I was walking by, hey, how do we get to Central Park from here? And they, oh yeah, you just go down there, and it's as nice as could be. So I really think it's how you act, who you are, and what you expect. So I think China would be good for you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I want to find out what happened with the dream, because there's something involved with the dream. I remember when I was a little kid, I think it was one of those things where I don't know if it was a dream or not, but I looked through the kitchen, through the living room, and I saw an old man and 2 old ladies sitting under our dining room table. And to this day, I don't know if it was real or not, but it was like yesterday that I saw that, and I just don't know. I have no idea what that means. But as far as traveling goes, I know I want to go to Germany, and I want to go to the south of France, and I was going to do that before the pandemic, but I couldn't go anywhere. So, So what about you?
I want to go everywhere. China, maybe Japan even.
Yeah, wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah, Mexico. I definitely want to visit more places in Mexico. South America.
I've been to Brazil. You'd like Brazil. Brazil's beautiful. It's a little scary, but it's beautiful. I remember you're talking about going to Japan. Japan's almost like a cat and a dog. When you see a cat, you just don't know what they're thinking. You know what I mean? And they're looking at you. It's like when you go to Japan. It's different. People are raised differently. They're not good or bad. It's just totally different. So it's as close as going to a parallel universe as I could think of, to where you could really learn a lot in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So School's over. When school? When are you going to be done with school?
It's still I'm still going to school. I just
It's a continuing thing.
yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna continue because the classes are so online, and I don't do very well with online classes.
Yeah, that's tough. It's like going to the gym. I can't have a stairmaster here. I have to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can't you get in school? I mean, the classes aren't open right now.
The campus is, but my specific class is only online. But I'll probably look into it. Hopefully.
It's tough to learn Mandarin when your buddy's texting you
Yeah.
to go out and do something.
Yeah.
How much more time do we have? 7 minutes. What's your favorite concert? Your absolute very favorite concert.
I've honestly only went to one concert.
Okay, what's your one concert?
It was Warped Tour for it's pretty much like alternative like bands. So
Where was it playing?
in Ventura.
Okay.
I saw Black Veil Brides, and they're very very good in like live, like the vocals.
What's the name called?
Black Veil Brides.
Black Veil Bride. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll listen to him.
Yeah, the singer is Andy Biersack, and he's very good.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So, if you could see any band, what's your favorite band right now?
Favorite band?
Do you have any old school classic rock bands? A lot of my friends have kids that love the Eagles and they love all some old school stuff.
I listen to a lot of music, so I wouldn't be able to choose.
All right, so your very favorite one, if you could go to any concert tonight,
I don't know. I don't know. I listen to
you like
too
Machine Gun
much.
Kelly?
No.
I'm trying to be slick here.
I've listened to him, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I listened to Pierce Savelle. I've heard that they are gonna have a concert soon, hopefully. But I might go to that.
Keep me up to date on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me text me when I don't want to be out of the loop. I dig music. I love music. I like Elton John has this thing on, I think it's Instagram, where he has a show and he brings in all the brand new artists. I mean, stuff that people I've never heard of, but he just did a single with somebody. I think he did a remix with one of his old songs, and it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of fun to watch.
That's
It's kind of
cool.
fun to watch these old artists, and they're getting into Instagram, and the Rolling Stones. I mean, have you heard of the Rolling Stones?
Mm-hmm.
So they just came, I think their last show was like the other night in Las Vegas, but they're selling out 100,000 people venues.
Wow.
And I think what it is it's, the people that were around when, they were like in their 20s, they're probably 70, 80 years old, but they're bringing their kids, and there's 4 generations of people going to their shows.
Yeah.
And it's weird with concerts with me. Like I said 100 times, it's magic for me. But I had 2 older brothers. I don't think either of them ever been to a concert.
Wow.
So it's what sign are you? I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm a
Is that
Sagittarius.
right? I think that's it. Because my brother's a Taurus. Nico, you're a Sagittarius too? Well, then get some comments. Can you get some comments? I guess all the Sagittarius. Isn't that funny? We kind of found each other.
Yeah.
It's like us doing the show right now. In my world, now that I do things differently, I listen to my insides. I don't think there's any mistake that we're here all together doing this. I think it's really cool.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it is funny, and it's who knows what's going to come from this. And I was mentioning to Brianna later, if she's going to get her own talk show from this, please have me on, because I would appreciate that.
Of course.
But anyway, so my dream now. I'm going to throw this out to the universe because I believe in that whole secret thing. Here's what I want, and I'll come to any state, any city in the United States. Wichita, Kansas. I'll come to Alabama, to Florida. I want a morning talk show. I want 30 or 40 people, nothing major. And I want a setting where, just like you and I, and we'll have a morning talk show every single morning, and we'll have guests from people that are coming to Libero or coming to do a concert the next week, or whatever the situation is. And I'm single. I will move tomorrow. I'll be in your city, any city, in 24 hours if you need a morning talk show host, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brianna will do the same thing, as long as you teach her Chinese while she's there. How much time do we have there, Nico? 3 minutes. Can you think of anything you'd like to tell the world or put out in the universe? Anything you're grateful about, or?
Well, I just say like be nice to people.
Be kind.
Because you don't know what they're going through.
That's cool. That's true. And you know what? I used to compare my insides to people's outsides, and that's bad. Because if I saw somebody, I would. That's not them. because you see me, that's not me. Me is inside and how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And now I realize that you're exactly right. You're pretty wise to be as old as you are. Because when you're seeing somebody, it's not what they look like, that's not who they are. It's how they're feeling, and you have to respect that. And so I'm growing too. It's an ongoing process, and I have a long ways to go, but I'm sure as heck getting a lot better. Yeah, so it's nice to know that you can be yourself and you can be vulnerable by saying something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be able to say, hey, you know what, I make mistakes all the time, and that's okay because everybody else does. It's when you pretend not to make mistakes. That's when you kind of miss out.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all the time that we have. Brianna, thank you. That's right, wrong name. Brianna Balsuto and Ben Ferguson,